Hi everyone, this is Bilal Khan and you are watching Simplified Coding. In this video, we will add movement and animation to our player. This is our player, and if you want to move your player, click here and then you will see two axes to your player. And with this arrow you can move vertically, and with this arrow you can move horizontally. And if you click here, you can move anywhere you want. So this is our player. Now to our player, the first thing we will do is we will change the name of the player object because I don't like this name. So let's rename it to just player. Now to our player, we will add a component. You can see whenever you select a game object, you see some components in the inspector. As you can see, we have transform and sprite renderer to our player object. If you want to add more components, you can use this button. So we will click here, and here we will search for rigid body 2D. And what it does is it adds some physics to the object. For example, inside the rigid body 2D you have gravity, angular drag, linear drag, mass, and a bunch of things. Now after adding the rigid body 2D, if you play your game, you can see the player is falling. This is because it has some gravity now. Now we also need some platform where our player can stand. So we will go to game object and then select 3D object and select cube. So we have a cube, and this is a 3D cube and our game is 2D. So remove this box collider that you already have in your cube object because this is a 3D box collider and we are working in 2D. So click here on this 3 button and select remove component. Now we will add, but before adding the component, first increase the size. So if you want to change the size of your component, click here and then you can change the size. So we have a large platform and then let's move it here. Okay. Now click on add component and add box collider 2D. So we have the box collider. You can see that means other objects can collide to this box. Now we also need to add the box collider to our player. So again select add component and select box collider, and you can see the box collider is added. Now if you run your game, you can see the player is standing. That's it. So we have the rigid body for our player, we have a stupid platform. Now we need to create a script so that we can move our player. So what we will do is inside our assets folder, we will create a new folder to store all the scripts or code. So create a folder named scripts, and inside this folder we will create our first C# script. So right click, go to create, select C# script, and I will name this script as player, and then I will open it in Visual Studio Code. You can use any code editor, that doesn't matter. I will remove these comment lines. So we have two functions. The first one is start and the second one is update. So whenever your game is launched, you do all the initialization inside this start function, and it is called only once. And this update function is called once per frame. And let me get the comments back. In the comment it was written start is called before the first frame update, and update is called once per frame. So first we will define our rigid body inside this player class. So we will write private rigid body 2D because we have rigid body 2D, and you can name the object anything. So let's say rigid body. That's it. Now inside start, we will initialize this rigid body. So here we will write rigid body equals to get component, and this function get component will get the component from our player, and the component that we need to get is rigid body 2D. That's it. So you need to write it like this. We have get component, rigid body, and the function sign, because this is a function. So we have the rigid body. Now to move the player, we need one more variable, and it would be public float speed, the speed of the player. Now inside update, we will set the velocity of our rigid body. So write rigid body dot velocity, and when you want to set velocity, you need a vector2 object, and vector2 is an object that takes x and y position. So here we will create new vector2, and inside vector2 we will pass x and y, and for the x we will pass speed, and for the y we will pass the y of our rigid body, because we don't need to move our player in the y direction or vertical direction. So we are just playing with the x, so our player will move left to right. So to get the y from our rigid body, we will write here rigid body dot velocity dot y. That's it. And I think it will work. So close the script. Now we need to add the script to our game object, and again to add a component we will use this button. So select your player, click on add component, and find player. You can see we have our script here, which is player. So the player script is added to our player object, and we have some error in our script, so open it. And I forget to add a semicolon here. This is because I was working with Kotlin for a long time, so I forget semicolon. That's silly. So we have the script, we have the player, we have the platform. Let's run the game. And I missed one thing. So click on player, and let's add player script first, because if you add anything to your game when the game is running, it is temporary. So when you will stop your game, everything is removed. So let's add the player script again, add component player. Now inside the player script, you can see we have speed. So whenever you define any variable inside your class as public, you can initialize it from Unity, from the inspector. So we can put speed value for the player, let's say it is 4. Now let's run the game. So you can see the player is moving and it fell down. So it is working fine. Now when the player is moving, we need to animate it so that it looks like it is running. Our player is running. And to animate the player, click here in this animation tab. First select your player and then come to animation tab, and here create an animation. Again, to store all the animations, we will create a separate folder inside our assets folder. So I will create a new folder and I will name it animations. Open this folder, and for now I will create an animation named player running. Save this animation. Now inside this animation, we will add all the sprites that we already have. So go to your arts folder and then player. Now from player 10 to player 19 we have the animation for running. So I will drag from 10 to 19 to here like this. You can see, and let's play. You can see the player is running very fast. We need to slow down the speed, and to change the speed, change the sample size to let's say 12. Try now. Now it looks nice. So our player is animating. So we created an animation. Now if you run the game, let's try running it. You can see our player is animating. So it is working absolutely fine. So I guess that is all for this lesson, friends. I hope you liked it. And in the next lesson, we will do something else. So if you liked this video, then please hit on that like button, subscribe to my channel and share this video with your friends. And I will see you in the next video. So thanks for watching. This is Bilal Khan now signing off.